Bug Country 99.7 and 101.1, today's new country. It is Think Pink all month long with Fred F. Collis and Sons here on Bug Country, and it is making strides against breast cancer, and it is Sunday, October 3rd at MVCC in Utica. And this week we are going to be showcasing Missy Clarey, and we're going to be talking all about her as a breast cancer survivor on air, and she is in studio with me right now. Missy, how are you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I've actually had the chance to get to know you pretty well over the last 2 years because I am your daughter Emily's field hockey coach. But for people who do not know you like I do, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your story of breast cancer?
Sure. I was 38 when I was diagnosed. I had a small pain in my chest and went to touch it like most people would and found a bump that I had never known to be there. Went for my regular checkup and the doctor said, well, I don't really think it's anything, but we'll send you for a mammogram anyways. You're close to 40. The next week I did a mammogram and then they called me back in from the waiting room to do a sonogram and then called my husband and I in this little yellow room with a table and 2 chairs and tissues on the table and said, I think we're going to have to send you for a biopsy as soon as possible. And they actually told me before my biopsy that they were 90% sure it was breast cancer and that I was going to lose at least my right side.
And so the process after that, what was that like for you?
So for me, I had a double mastectomy in June of 2016. 2 weeks before my oldest child graduated from high school.
Oh, wow.
After that, I had a tram flap as well, so I did not do implants. They actually recreated from my stomach in the same surgery. It was about 12 hours long.
Wow.
After that, when all of my labs came back, 16 rounds of chemo followed. And I still go every 3 months to my oncologist.
And are you officially free or not yet?
Unfortunately, with the type of cancer that I have, I can't ever say cancer-free or in remission. We say NED, no evidence of disease.
Okay, so this is something I learn every single year when we do Think Pink is all the different kinds of breast cancer. So can you give us a little bit of a story or like a background of the type that you had specifically?
Sure. Mine is estrogen positive. And unfortunately, being young when all of this happened, they just figured that after 16 rounds of chemo, I would stop producing estrogen, and I didn't. So my body is like super estrogen positive, I guess. So we have to keep a really close eye on it. And it's stage 3, so that's spread some points that we're watching.
Oh, and so when it comes to breast cancer and being a survivor, and obviously when you're speaking to maybe somebody who is like my age or maybe your daughter's age, what advice and I guess kind of precautions could we take as young women as we're getting older and maybe seeing different changes and stuff like that?
For young women, I say really consider your birth control options. When you take birth control at a young age, like the pill, it's giving you a lot of extra hormones that you may or may not need. Not that has been determined to be the cause of my cancer. However, I suspect. Be diligent in your self-exams and ask for mammograms as early as they'll send you. Insurances do cover it before 40 years old. I work for an insurance company and we will cover it.
I never knew that.
You just have to ask for it. And insist. You have to be your own advocate. You have to insist.
Awesome. Well, Missy, I know you, and I know that you are a very uplifting and positive person, so I appreciate you and you telling your story, and you can keep up to date with Missy and get her full interview and stuff online at bugcountry.com. And this is Think Pink all month long with Fred F. Collis and Sons. And Missy, thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thanks for having me.
Perfect.